Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, June 14, 2023, and tonight I will be talking about AEW Dynamite. Well, we have quite a few things to talk about. Number one, we gotta talk about that chaotic finish, and number two, we gotta talk about MJF versus Adam Cole, baby. But let's kick things off with the main event, and then we'll talk about MJF versus Adam Cole, baby. Okay. So the main event was a trios match. It was the Elite versus the BBC in the form of John Moxley, Claudio Castelloni, and Wheeler Yuta. So as soon as this match started, a brawl broke out immediately. There was a triple super kick to the BCC. You had a double moonsault to BCC by Nick Jackson and Hangman Adam Page. You got a moonsault off the ring apron to Wheeler Yuta by Hangman. You got Moxley, as always, flipping off the crowd. I think one of my favorite spots in this match was when Matt Jackson did a double Northern Light suplex to John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta. Yet John Moxley sending Hangman into the steel steps. Doomsday device to Matt Jackson by John Moxley and Claudio Castelloni. You had a super kick party to the BBC by the Young Bucks. You had Hangman doing a powerbomb to Wheeler Yuta. Then the Bucks doing a BTE trigger to Wheeler Yuta. And then Hangman hit the Buckshot Lariat to Wheeler Yuta. Very funny. And the Elite was victorious. Of course, Bryan Danielson was on commentary during this match, and he was not happy that the Elite was victorious. But what I really want to talk about is the finish. So, of course, the BCC gave a beatdown to the Elite, and Eddie Kingston made his surprise return tonight. He went after Claudio Castelloni, and when the Bucks were trying to go after John Moxley, he was trying to stop them. And there was this one moment where Eddie Kingston and John Moxley kind of had this stare down. They had a little moment. And then Kenny Omega came back and he took out, let me see, crazy main event. The ending to the show was crazy. Yeah, it was a crazy main event. I mean, Konosuke Takeshita was out there. Kenny Omega came back, took out Takeshita. And here's the thing, though. I thought with Forbidden Door around the corner, you guys remember Kenny Omega had left and he said he was in Canada. So one would assume, okay, he went to Japan and got Ibushi. I thought Ibushi was going to come out here tonight, but that didn't happen. Well, Ospreay came out and he attacked Kenny Omega and he hit the Stormbreaker to Omega. Obviously we're setting up for Forbidden Door, but I was still expecting Ibushi tonight, a reunion of the Golden Lovers, but that didn't happen. With next week being the Go Home show, maybe Ibushi will show up there, but this was a crazy main event and a crazy way to end AEW Dynamite, but I thought it was a really good main event overall. Like I said, I was a little disappointed because I thought Ibushi was going to come out, but he didn't. So, but nevertheless, it was still a pretty crazy ending. Especially there was that one spot at the end where they kind of stalled the finish. So I was like, okay, maybe there's something else is going to happen. But no, nothing else happened. So, but what did you guys think of the main event and of the crazy ending? Were you guys expecting it? Were you guys surprised at who showed up? Were you expecting somebody else? Let me know in the live chat or in the comment section if you're watching this on replay. Okay, so now we got to talk about MJF versus Adam Cole, which, funny enough, kicked off tonight's Dynamite. So this was an Eliminator match. So if Adam Cole was victorious, he would get a title shot against MJF. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of these Eliminator matches, and I'm definitely not a big fan when WWE uses them, the championship contender matches, because, normally a champion wins and, this, that, and the third. But not this match, holy smokes, freaking delivered. I'm telling you, top to bottom, it delivered. Okay, so MJF during this match was focusing on Adam Cole's arm. I really like the fact that MJF did the Fargo strut. And he exited the ring, went over the barricade, and he got into it with a fan in a green shirt. He just went like that, and the fan looked so surprised. He had Adam Cole sending MJF into a turnbuckle. And at one point, MJF did mock Adam Cole by going doing Adam Cole's signature, baby. Adam Cole got stuck between the ring apron. You had MJF stomping on Adam Cole's arm on the steel steps. You had him doing a wrist lock to Adam Cole. So Adam Cole went shoulder first into the canvas, and then MJF hit him with the half and half pump handle slam. So MJF baby, right? MJF baby. So there's this one spot where like MJF pose, he did HBK's signature pose, and if you've been watching wrestling for a while, you know what I'm talking about. HBK's signature pose when he goes like that, and I was just like, oh my god. Like, and not only that, he was trying to channel Sweet Chin music, which is like HBK's finisher here. But he was not able to hit Sweet Chin music because Adam Cole countered with a super kick of his own. And if you look closely, it looked like MJF was bleeding. Like blood started coming out of his mouth. So you had MJF doing a double underhook to Adam Cole. And at some point, Adam Cole's left knee buckles, and he tombstone. And MJF is able to tombstone power driver Adam Cole on the ring apron. MJF yells at Adam Cole saying, "You're a nobody." Adam Cole hits the pump kick. MJF hits a lariat. You got MJF doing the salt of the earth to Adam Cole. Adam Cole doing an ankle lock to MJF. This was a great match. It went on as long as it could, but knew it could be screw finish because neither guy couldn't lose, right? So MJF then hits the knee strike and he follows it up with the heat seeker. So afterwards, he goes to the timekeeper's area and he clears it. And he puts Adam Cole on it, and by God, Adam Cole almost got broke in half here. Like, I guess you could say he did get broken in half because MJF did that elbow drop through the table. How Adam Cole was able to stand up from all this after this was crazy because the ref started counting 10 and MJF weaseled his way back into the ring. But Adam Cole, like, literally made it to the ring at the last second. And not only that, he was able to super kick MJF on the ring apron, and he followed up with the straight jacket German suplex. So Adam Cole was going to do this Panama Sunrise, but MJF crawled away. And once again, he stomped on the elbow to Adam Cole. MJF, being the sneaky he is, he sent Adam Cole into the referee. And I really like this part. He played possum. You know, he grabbed the title while the ref was like knocked down. He threw it at Adam Cole and then dropped himself, obviously, paying homage to Eddie Guerrero because that's what Eddie Guerrero used to do. But it backfired on him because the ref was still down. So Adam Cole was just standing there holding this spot. He was like laughing. And he actually did hit MJF with that belt. And then he dropped his knee pad and hit the boom. But the ref didn't get up in time. So MJF kicked out. MJF grabbed that poor ref who had just gotten knocked out. And he low blowed Adam Cole. Then when the ref wasn't looking, he put the Dynamite diamond ring on. And he was about to hit Adam Cole with it. But the referee caught him. And this allowed Adam Cole to hit the Panama Sunrise, followed by the boom. And just as the ref is counting 1, 2, the bell rings and time is up. The match is a draw. And Adam Cole grabs the mic and says 5 more minutes, but MJF does not accept. And wow, what a crazy start to tonight's show. This was a fantastic match. I kind of knew something was going to happen like this because I was like, I don't think they're going to allow Adam Cole to beat MJF that easily. But they're definitely going to have a match in somewhere down the road. This is definitely going to get revisited. But fantastic match. This is probably out of the few Eliminator matches they've had. This has probably been my most favorite Eliminator match that they had. But what did you guys think of this match and of the finish? We get a CM Punk Vignette, and he basically says, let me see. Michael 101591 says, I was expecting the match to end in a DQ. I was not expecting it to end in a DQ, but I did think something was going to go down. I thought maybe MJF was going to cheat to win. So, really happy with the draw. So basically, in this Vignette, CM Punk says, and I quote, I am coming back for the same reasons I came to AEW in the first place. I got scores to settle. There's still things left to do. I don't know what I'm gonna say or do until I have that microphone in my hand. I have lots of things to get off my chest, unquote. So obviously we know the main event to the debut episode of Collision is CMFTR versus Bullet Club Gold and Samoa Joe. And with Forbidden Door being 2 weeks away, maybe one of the things CM Punk says, and I'm just going to throw this out here, it's a prediction, maybe he calls out Kenta, and we finally get Kenta versus CM Punk. You know, the GTH versus GTH. The GTS versus GTS. My bad. Oh my god. But, we'll see. What do you guys think CM Punk is going to say? Let me know in the live chat or in the comments if you're rewatching this. And are you guys excited for Collision? Who's watching Collision this weekend? Unfortunately, I won't be able to, so I'll have to DVR Collision, and I'll catch the next one. We get a Sammy Guevara in-ring promo. He's talking about how it's been a hell of a ride. He's been experiencing the highest of highs with the pregnancy announcement. Him and Ty Mello are having a girl. If you guys aren't aware, GTX, a new finisher invented. I didn't catch myself there, but you know what I meant. You know what I meant, right? Isn't that gasoline? I think it's like a gasoline brand. He's also saying that he's experienced the lowest of the lows by coming close to being AEW champion. He says he will have his wife, his baby girl in one arm, and the title in the other, but he's going to make some changes. Now, it doesn't talk about what kind of changes he's going to make because Darby Allin does come out, and he congratulates Sammy Guevara. But he says he's here to talk about Double or Nothing. And the question he has for Sammy is he going to stand on his own feet or in the shadows of the JAS? And that is a good question because Sammy Guevara hasn't been officially with the JAS in a while. Darby Allin says him and Sting are equals. And that Sammy Guevara doesn't have to answer his question right now. Chris Jericho comes out. And he orders his music to be cut off. And he talks about how it's been 3 whole months that Sammy was chasing MJF. He never called. He says that Chris Jericho calls himself the mentor and the guy who bought Sammy Guevara into AEW, yet Sammy never called him and never asked for help. And Sammy throws it back and says, why didn't Jericho call him? And maybe if he did, he wouldn't have lost Adam Cole twice. What was with the heels he was wearing, right? They were like purple and sparkly. Jericho says that maybe Sammy is having delusions and orders him to apologize. And Sammy says he is not apologizing for that shit. And then Chris Jericho says that maybe Sammy needs to remember the hierarchy of JAS and maybe they need to reunite the sex gods. Darby Allin says Jericho calls himself the Wizard, but the magic is all gone when he enters the ring. Ouch. Jericho then says him and Sammy are going to beat up Darby Allin. Let me see. This is presenting It's Wrestling Time, sponsored by Castro GTX Fools. I knew that was mortar. I knew that was mortar oil. I knew it. See? I was right. Also sponsored by Snapple and Mountain Dew. Okay, I like Snapple, but I don't like Mountain Dew. It's my least favorite soda. All right. So then Darby Allin says he's not alone, and then Sting comes out. And Chris Jericho and Sting have this stare down and each have a bat. So I think this is the first time Chris Jericho and Sting have interacted. And it's so funny because Jericho puts his bat on Sting and Sting puts his bat on Jericho. And they're just like measuring each other's bats, which I thought was so hilarious. So, and I think we're going to get the first ever match between Sting and Jericho. I should be sponsored by Snapple because it's something that's in vids. You should be. So what did you guys think of this segment and of this exchange between Chris Jericho and Sting? We're going to get Chris Jericho and Sting. So let me know in the comment section or in the live chat. Cause it mountain don't. I get it. That's funny. I have a feeling like maybe Jericho is gonna like leave Sammy Guevara high and dry during that match, or maybe because like Jericho's a heel here, right? And if you're trying to turn Sammy Guevara face, the best way to do it is to have Jericho walk out on him. I think if that match happens, it should be Sting's retirement match. Oh yeah, definitely, I agree. Then we get the Zendaya doing an open challenge at Forbidden Door. Now, we get a response to his challenge later on in the night. He is a current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. So I'm just going to go jump into that segment, even though it doesn't happen until later on in the night. So the person who responds to this challenge is Jungle Boy. He says it's the summer of Jungle Hook. And he feels a little, bare standing next to Hook, who has a title. And Jungle Boy did say he's going to go after a title, so he accepts Zendaya's open challenge for the IWGP title at Forbidden Door. Now, call me crazy here, but what if Jungle Boy turns heel? Because, like, he says he's after a title, but he didn't specifically say which one. What if he turns heel and goes after Hook's FTW title? That's just a thought. What do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat. So you get an 8-person tag match. It is Mogul Embassy versus Keith Lee, Darby Allin, Sting, and the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy. This was actually a really fun match. I actually enjoyed this match. Brian Cage dressed up as Surfer Sting, which I thought was hilarious. I really like that double lariat that Keith Lee did to the Gates of Agony. And this let me see. I can't see Jungle Boy turning heel. Well, you don't have to. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying, like, what if he did? I'm not saying that he is going to, but what if he did? Yeah, I don't know. It's Beer Cat Grandpa Lee. So there was also a spot where like Swerve Strickland did the stomp to Keith Lee with assistance from Kong and Brian Cage. If Jungle Boy turned, he could reunite with Luchasaurus and have Jurassic Express as heels, maybe. So this finish was like, it had Brian Cage trying to take out Sting, but Sting countered with the clothesline. Brian Cage put Sting on his shoulders, and he was about to hit the F5, but Orange Cassidy saved him with an orange punch, and then Sting hit the Scorpion Death Drop to Brian Cage, and his team was victorious. And, during this match, I don't know if anybody caught it. I wasn't the only one who spotted this, but during this match, if you guys look closely, this says no. This popped up on the screen during the match, which I wonder what it means. Maybe it's leading to someone's debut. If anything, who do you guys think is debuting? Maybe, I don't know. Did anybody else catch that? Because I caught it. I wonder what it means. What do you guys think it means? So we get a backstage interview with the Guns, who deny a relationship or any alliance with Jay White and Bullet Club Gold. They say that they were raised to be polite, so they don't talk about other people, and that they're the best brother tag team in AEW. So next week, they are challenging the Hardys to a tag match. But what are your thoughts on the Hardys versus the Guns here? I'm actually looking forward to seeing that. I definitely think the Hardys are going to school the Guns here, but maybe the Guns are going to cheat to win. Drew McIntyre maybe debuting. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Drew McIntyre. I think he's still under contract as far as I know. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see if for any reason Drew McIntyre would jump ship to AEW. I don't think he would debut on Dynamite. I think that they would save him for All In. So we get the TNT Championship match. It is Wardlow versus Jake Hager. The Hardys versus the Guns should be decent, but yawn. And with this match, like Wardlow was dominating Jake Hager. Like he was tossing him around like a rag doll. And after this is a rubber match between the men. They each have one victory over each other. You know, Hager did get some offense in here. He put Wardlow in the ankle lock, but this match was mostly Wardlow. He finished him off with the Powerbomb Symphony twice, and so Wardlow successfully retained his TNT title. And then Brian Cage, so many cages here. Christian Cage appears on the Titantron alongside Luchasaurus, and he says that Luchasaurus accept Wardlow's challenge. It's going to be Wardlow versus Luchasaurus on the debut episode of Collision. And then Christian Cage says, what if Wardlow's new daddy may not be there because they shown a beat up Arn Anderson. This is I don't care anything surrounding the TNT Championship. Same with Wardlow. I can understand that. I see why. So after this, we get Tanahashi challenging MJF for that title. Now, it's been confirmed that MJF will defend his title against Tanahashi. And MJF says it wouldn't be the first time he's a no-show, obviously referring to what happened at Double or Nothing last year. He was a no-show for his autograph signing. We get Orange Cassidy, a backstage interview with Orange Cassidy, and it kind of seems like maybe we're going to get Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. because he interrupted Orange Cassidy during this interview, but yet so did Daniel Garcia. And Daniel Garcia interrupted because he wants that pure title back. And Orange Cassidy tells him Shibata isn't there, but next week it'll be him and Shibata versus Daniel Garcia and Zack Sabre Jr. So what do you guys think about that? I honestly would not mind seeing Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay last year was incredible. So wouldn't surprise me that match is good too. Now we get the AEW Women's World Title match. It is Toni Storm versus Sky Blue. And to be completely honest, I wasn't looking forward to this match because we've seen it before and I wasn't the biggest fan of the first part. But actually, this match was actually pretty decent. I actually really enjoyed this match. I really like the fact that Sky Blue attempted to do her own hip attack on Toni Storm. And now Sky Blue's mom was at ringside and Toni Storm spray painted her in the face. Ruby Soho distracted the referee, and I really like that Sky Blue used that spray paint on Toni Storm, and then she cheap shot at Ruby Soho. Now Toni Storm hitting the Storm Zero to Sky Blue, but she kicked out. I think Zack Sabre Jr. would be Orange Cassidy. I think that too. Maybe. We'll see. It would be interesting if he does beat Orange Cassidy. And when she kicked out, I was like, oh my god, maybe. I was shocked that she kicked out, but I was kind of like, I don't think they would let her win. Maybe she'll win by DQ. But no, Toni Storm locks in the Texas Cloverleaf to Sky Blue, and she wins by submission. And then the Outcast attacked Sky Blue, and Willow Nightingale came out to save her. And we find out that we're going to get Toni Storm and Ruby Soho versus Willow Nightingale and Sky Blue on the debut episode of Collision. And I'm going to go ahead and stop my review right there because after this, what follows is the Jungle Hook segment, which is basically accepting Zandaya's challenge, which I talked about already. And then I also talked about the main event. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my review right there. Honestly, I really like tonight's show. There's nothing really I can complain about. I really, really liked the show. I enjoyed it. And if I had to give this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to be pretty bold and give this a Shawn Spears perfect 10 out of 10. Really enjoyed tonight's show. 9 out of 10. Awesome show. Why'd you give it a 9 out of 10? Just curious. Oh, because of the Wardlow thing? Let me see. Collision is shaping up to be a good show. Yeah, and you guys don't know what's funny is that we're going to get Andrade versus Buddy Matthews. And I think that's funny because, as you know, in WWE, we had Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. So it's kind of funny that their significant others are going to wrestle each other on Collision. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And as far as, let me see, Wardlow, what are you talking about? Wardlow and Sky Blue versus Toni Storm, she just loses. I get where you're coming from. As far as SmackDown's concerned, I don't think I'm gonna be able to watch SmackDown this weekend or Rampage. And unfortunately, I might miss Collision. But if anything, I definitely will catch up. So if I don't see you guys Friday or Saturday, I will definitely see you guys Monday after Raw. Bye.